much ice in this cup.
We're recording.
Oh. Yikes. Hey, everybody.
Yay!
Welcome back.
Welcome. Oh, hello. You thought we were gone.
You thought
You
that-
wished.
You were hoping. You were praying that we really would stay away. But
Stay away. But no.
sorry to burst your bubbles, but we
You
back.
motherfuckers, we're back.
It's 2019. It's been some time.
New year, new us.
Hopefully, because last year,
2018.
the
was a
old us.
hot mess.
I would say 2018 for the most part was a hot mess.
Oh, for sure. I think
It's like a collective
year. I think
Yeah.
in society in general and the world.
Yeah, I don't think many. I don't know. I think there were wins to be taken from 2018, but for the most part, I feel like many people were very glad to see it go.
Oh, for sure.
Which is interesting because when 2018 came, I was super ready for 2018. I was like,
Same.
F 2017. F that year, let it go. And somehow, I don't know. It's 2019. I'm glad for it. So, as per usual,
Here we are.
I've been drinking.
I'm not.
Amanda
But I'm
is,
indulging. in
Amanda
other
is
things.
indulging in her own.
Listen. It's fine.
It's totally
It's going to
fine.
be legal.
JB just.
So, yeah, we live in Chicago. If anybody's listening to us that we don't actually know and they live somewhere else, we live in Illinois, Chicago.
Yep.
And JB Pritzker.
JB Pritzker just became our governor, which a huge kind of running point for him was legalizing the
Devil's
weeds.
lettuce.
What did you call
The
it?
devil's lettuce.
The devil's lettuce. So yeah, we'll see. I bet we'll be seeing that happening in here in
I
Illinois
hope.
soon.
I really do hope, because I was having this discussion with actually my friend today about prices at the dispensaries and how ridiculous it is. Stuff like that, and hopefully with it legalized, maybe it would go down. But Illinois is going to tax the shit out of it. Just get
yeah,
money.
I mean, we tax the shit out of everything.
Yeah.
So,
So what's hopeful thinking, but nah.
I think, yeah, I mean, I think a big, and I think a lot of people talk about this. So, which is there's two different discussions here. One is just the legalization in general, that we should be doing it. I think the other point here that a lot of people make is that there are so many people currently still incarcerated for, marijuana related incidences, and we need to get those
my God.
people. The fact that we even have a state in the United States that has marijuana legalized, and there are people still in jail for something that's,
But if we want to really get into this, people who have murdered someone or raped someone get out. This is oh my God, I can go on about this.
I mean, our justice system definitely needs some work. I had this dawning realization, and I think, I don't know if we've ever talked about this before. I have a friend who's in prison who's serving a very long term for, I mean, definitely he should be serving time. So to preface that, I think a wrong was done and time should be served. In most states, it's not even a prisonable offense. It's usually kind of a probationary type of thing. And he got sentenced a very long, decade-long sentence where, this is a strange comparison, but I was watching Wolf of Wall Street yesterday. And that guy, I mean, the amount of criminal activity that took place, and the guy in real life only served 3 years behind bars.
Oh, yeah.
So it's like, our justice system just doesn't make a whole lot of sense, and it favors the rich white male. So I don't know. There's that's a whole different conversation.
It's a lot.
But back to where we began.
Yes.
Legalize weed. Get
Everybody
people out
will
of
be
prison.
happy.
Yeah.
Let's just do it. Just do it. It'll be fine. But don't tax the shit out of it. That's all I know.
Yeah. But let's get those people out of prison for serving.
Yeah, that would be very nice.
Serving that time.
Oh, yeah.
If we're going to legalize it anywhere, those people should be out of
Oh,
out of
for
the system.
sure. Well, on that note, 2019 is here.
And we...
okay, so when was the actual last time that we talked?
I want to say that it's August was the last time we
I
spoke.
think so too, because I was about to leave for my trip.
You were about to leave for your trip,
And it was in
and
August.
I knew that all of my weddings were beginning. So
Oh yeah, it was a hot minute.
yeah,
Oh, yeah.
so there has been so much that has gone on, and again, I believe that we do this every single time that we have a podcast. But I'm going to go ahead,
Here we go.
and I'm going to take a whole minute to take the blame for why it always takes.
Just gotta
us
leave it in
forever.
here, guys. I'm sorry.
It's just the way it is. Amanda is like a very good podcasting partner, and I am easily the worst. I mean, like, there's no like comparison. I'm definitely the worst. I started in September to November. I had 5 weddings, which just took up all of my time. In August, I started a full-time job and kept part-time with the job that Amanda and I shared together. So I was working 50, 60-hour weeks. I had all these weddings that I was standing up in. Post-weddings just went back to 60-hour weeks, and my life has just been shambly. So I don't have a lot of free time. I get like 2 nights off during the week, and usually a day off on the weekend. And I spend definitely one of those days with my family, trying to see my nephew, and then those other days I'm like asleep, to be honest. So or at least trying to relax. So, but again, fault is all mine. We will be better in the new year, and we really will be.
We will. Yeah, we will. I think we will be better.
I just almost burped into the microphone. So
Thank
really,
you.
New
Thank
Year,
you for
same as me. So
No, you like turned away though.
I did. I'm learning
She's
podcasting
learning
etiquette,
so
guys.
I can edit that out a little bit better. Oh my god, I'm so happy.
Remember the first episode when I was just eating pretzels into the microphone because I was so
Oh,
I wasn't so intoxicated, but I was a little
We were-
tipsy and just like
yeah.
chomping into the microphone.
That was great, and I had to edit all that out.
Yep.
Or tried to. And
Yeah, but it wasn't because I
successfully
was
didn't
talking
happen.
and chewing at the same time.
Yeah, so I was just like, it has to stay. Like, there's nothing I can do about this.
In 2019, I am a whole 27 years old, and I am currently drinking Smirnoff Ice in a coffee mug with ice in it.
Yes.
So I am truly living not my best life, but some
It's
version
fine.
of it.
It's fine. But no, yeah. So 2019, do you have any like super amazing goals that you want to do, or?
I think the biggest thing, which 2 big things are happening very soon, one of which is just regaining one job and being like a normal adult that works one job. And just that's strange because I think most people would think of a goal to be doing more or going to the next step, whereas I'm trying to scale back. Because I think that would be really beneficial for just me personally, mainly personally, mentally. So getting to be at one job is part of it. The other part of it is really just in terms of independence, moving out and being on my own. And I think that's really like, that's the biggest thing. It's kind of just like regaining my life back because it's just not been mine for quite some time.
Yeah.
So, just for all the same reasons that we just talked about, the weddings, the 2 jobs,
Oh yeah.
the family. And I think I would just like to be, I think my motto for 2019 is to do less and actually do less.
Honestly, probably same.
Yeah.
I feel like I am doing so much as well, but it's not. But I need to be doing so much because I'm in this like prime time of like school, work,
Sure.
all this other shit. But I just need to like take a moment and like I'm gonna find ways to de-stress better.
Yeah.
I think is what I'm gonna.
Because you're I mean, you work a lot for our job. Like, you're pretty much working full time.
Honestly, yeah. But with being so, I've been having some medical complications with chronic pain acting up. So I haven't been able to. But like those days that I'm not there, like I'm in pain, so I'm like in bed, sort of thing.
Yeah, I can't speak on it because it's not me. But just kind of experiencing it secondhand just by, being in Amanda's life and talking to her. I think that is just, people don't talk about the type of thing that you go through on a day-to-day basis. It's not really a big conversation, but it's quite debilitating for you, and maybe we should talk about it more because that stinks for you because not that nobody takes it seriously, but it's like, it's the same thing as how mental health used to have this very big stigma around it and nobody talked about it and nobody took it seriously until finally we did, and I think for you the pain and everything you're feeling is super valid, and it's real physical pain that takes you out for days at a time. And that's just not just a physical issue, but
mentally also,
mentally, emotionally,
for sure. I mean, I think this year I'm gonna focus on. I mean, every single fucking year I say, I'm going to focus on myself, but I'm going to focus on myself. I'm going to focus on myself and I'm going to stay, positive. No, but I'm definitely going to like focus on like what I needs to get done. Yeah. Shit that needs to get done.
What would you say if you had to, I don't know, Sum up 3 things you feel like you need to get done in your life.
So much. I need to get my shit together. No, I really need to focus on figuring out class-wise really for these next couple semesters.
Sure. So
and,
school,
interns,
mainly school
kind
related
of stuff. Yeah,
yeah,
internships and
yeah,
stuff.
yeah. I was just gonna ask you. So
Don't even want to think about that right now.
we're
But
not
yeah,
gonna think about it right now.
no, I gotta take a class this semester. I have to finish this semester's class to actually like be able to take internships because it's like sort of like required because it's like the top whatever.
Sure.
But yeah, so after I do that, I will be there. But yeah, I mean, I'm already doing stuff. I'm already having great fun doing like I'm gonna take this class this semester. That's gonna be like 5.1 surround sound mixscape,
So cool.
which I like am super stoked about. And like the teacher's gonna give me the permission to do it, even though I haven't taken the other class yet. But because he's like, oh, I see you're going towards sound for cinema,
Right.
so like do that. So yeah, it's fine. So I'm super stoked about that. I'm just gonna like I think I'm gonna try to really indulge myself in school and enjoy the classes more, you know?
Cool.
Because I feel
Yeah.
like I was like rushing around to get all this stuff done, and I'm like, this comes first, you know? Like
Yeah.
this is what I'm learning to do for the rest of my life. Like let's take a step back and go a little slower,
Yeah.
and like really comprehend the stuff. I
Yeah,
think that's what
no,
I'm gonna
definitely.
do. Yeah,
I think a lot of people who are in college fall victim to that. Even I probably did. Is that I probably spent half of college just going through the motions and not really thinking about what I was doing. You know, like I was just there and it was school and that was kind of it. I had jobs and I had friends and I had social activities and work and school was school. But it took me a while to realize like this isn't just school. This is my future and this
Exactly,
is something
yeah.
to focus on and think about. And yeah, it took me a while. So it's cool that you're getting there and realizing it.
yeah.
Because I don't think and some people spend the entirety of their college. I would
Yeah,
say a
dude.
good amount of people our age now, millennials, we don't know what the hell we're effing doing. And
Honestly.
we get shipped off to school
Yeah, really.
and we just don't know what's going on. We get a taste of freedom and we just run for the damn hills, you know, and then we
Exactly.
don't realize what college
What-
actually means and what it's building us for.
Yeah. Oh my God, there's so many things to talk about.
There
but,
are.
Like,
So
where do we want to start?
I feel like, okay, so we kind of talked about how we were excited to see 2018 go. Could you name 3 things from 2018 that served your soul for the better or your life?
Yeah.
Let's do that. Let's be positive about 2018.
Hold on, I'm thinking of like if it was that year or the year prior, because it's like right. Starting my
Starting
current
2018, you were freshly single.
freshly single, yeah. So I think so
To make a marker for you
Yeah,
as to which year
got
is
it.
which.
so I think going on the trip by myself was really really good.
Yeah,
for me.
yeah. The last time we talked,
Yeah.
I was like encouraging you
That
to
was
do that.
awesome.
I'm sorry, I just sniffled into the microphone. Amanda's gonna have to edit that out.
You're fine. Ooh,
So the solo trip.
yeah.
So let's say 3 things. I got solo trip number 1.
Yeah. I think I started to say no.
Cool.
Yeah.
Love that.
Yeah.
Love that.
Definitely did that. And then I started to really like not take advantage, like really delve in and focus on my alone time and really enjoy that and try to be okay with that. And I am okay with that.
So solo trip,
Yeah.
saying no,
Yeah.
learning how to embrace your alone time.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think that, like, I have 3 rules in my life. 1 is be kind. 2 is laugh loud. And 3 is say yes. That's always
I thought
been
you were
my-
going to say live, laugh, love, and I was going to be like, Anna
No.
Marie.
No.
Calling
Be
you by
kind-
your real name.
Be Anna Marie. Be kind, laugh loud, say yes. And I say yes and like be adventurous. Like don't let fear and things hold you back
Yeah.
from doing fun things or things that you might be scared of. That's what I mean by saying yes, but I think there's a huge value that I'm learning and I think a lot of us can learn in saying no. Like I have been absolutely like pushed, like not pushed, but like stretched so thin lately. And it's finally dawning on me that while some of it has been out of my control, like work and weddings and, you know, things like that, there's so many times I could easily just say no. Like, I'm not going to do that.
It's
I don't
so
want
empowering to say no.
It's like, yeah, just like this idea, like, no, I don't want to do that, so I'm not going to do that, you know? And so I'm really starting to recognize the value in no, and that it's not even, I think I have a hard time saying no because I'm nervous to hurt or offend somebody that I'm saying no to. Yeah. But I think sometimes you have to think about saying no as like saying yes to yourself, you know? Like,
exactly.
It's you are saying no, but there's a bigger thing behind it for you that you're putting into, and it's really just a yes for you. So that's a good thing. That's makes me happy.
That sounded like psychology.
Was that psychological?
Yes.
Welcome to Ammo Psychology Corner.
Whoa. And just like smoking that a little bit and just hearing
You're
that, I'm like,
yeah,
whoa, yes and no.
Yes
yeah.
and no. Oh my
wow.
God. So, okay, let me say my 3 things from 2018. Which one of them?
Yes.
So, I know we've touched on this, but when I lived abroad for some time, I taught English for a year in Spain. And while I was living in Spain, my grandma passed away. And that was like a very, very tough time for me. Prior to living abroad, I lived with my grandma. So we were roommates. We kind of had a much closer relationship than normal. And that her passing while I was gone was really, really hard on me. And it made me kind of bitter towards where I lived. Like, I felt angry that I felt bitter that I was there and not at home, right? So I carried this like love and hate for where I was. Like, I love Spain more than I love anything in the world, right? Like, I think if anybody who knows me can say that statement is the truth. But I carried this like bitterness about where I was when it happened. And finally in 2018, I was able to go back. So, that is like a big thing for me. Like, one, just in general, getting to go to Spain, a place that I really do love and like consider home. I got to go back. So that's a huge part of 2018 that I'd say is like a highlight. But I think adding on top of that, I think me being able to go back to this place that I felt such simultaneous bitterness towards, that was a big step for me. So I would say the trip and also just that growth. So I would say those are 2 different things. Being back in Spain was amazing. It opened my eyes to so many things and like reminded me of my like life and direction and purpose. Mm-hmm. And also just the fact that I got there, which was a big emotional step for me in like the grieving process, which has taken me some time. And I know this sounds super lame and not anything, but really just having my nephew around, like,
no, for sure, yeah. Having like a human in your life that's like, even if it's like a small human,
yeah,
like it's still something about it, yeah.
And I think again, having not just living in Spain, but I moved after graduation in Texas, and I've been gone a lot, so I missed a lot of like growing up of family members. So I think just being around for my nephew made it was just amazing to actually be around to see him grow up. So that was cool. So I would say that nephew, emotional growth, and moving on, and going back to Spain and getting to be there. So that was probably my 3 top from 2018.
Nice.
That's nice.
Right. Yeah. Like, everybody complains about 2018, but I was talking to somebody the other day, and I was like, honestly, like, looking back for 2018 for me, like, it for me was a really big year of like a lot of growth and a lot of like, it was a lot of struggles, but I've come out at the other end and looking back and was like, wow, I did a lot actually.
Yeah.
And I didn't feel like I did much during the year.
You're right. But now when you look back retrospectively, it looks totally different. I see, like I said, 2017 was not my year. Like, I was ready to see 2017 go. I think collectively 2018 was rough, like in society and things that have been going on. It was a rough year for me personally. Like, looking back on it, and even in the moment, like it just felt like a better year. Like it was a step in the right direction for me. So like I was just thinking today, I was working from home, and I thought about where I was a year ago, and just it kind of made me giggle at the total rapid change that's happened from even just 365 days ago in a really, really positive way. And yeah, I like 2018 wasn't so bad. Like I on a personal level, I know that as a group in America and the world, we faced a lot of shit. But yeah, just even thinking about it today, I was like, man, my life was vastly different a year ago, it just seems like it's been a really good positive change. So I'm on board.
Hell yeah.
I'm ready for another good ass year.
Before I forget, because I have promised to do this and we haven't recorded since. When I went to Massachusetts, I met this really cool guy. His name, I'm going to look up his Instagram right now so I can give it to all you people that are hopefully listening to this. Hopefully. Kevin Devaney, probably pronouncing it wrong. His Twitter handle is his name, and then his last name is spelled, and Kevin is spelled with an I-N, not Y. That's stupid. I'm offending all those Kevins out there, but I don't give a shit. It's Kevin, and then it's Devan.
Wait, did you say his name was Matt Devaney?
Kevin. Did I say Matt? I'm high.
I think you did.
It's Kevin. No, I said Kevin because I was talking about Kevin. Anyways, it's Kevin Devaney Poet. That's his Instagram handle. He's this really cool street poet that I just met in at P-Town in Massachusetts. And he was on the street like with a typewriter just doing poetry. And he's like little books. And they were pieces of paper put together with bobby pins. And I was like, oh, this is super cool. And I was like, do you sell these? Like, he's like, yeah, I just like asked like $2 to $5, whatever you want. And I was like, okay, I'll take a couple. And I was telling him about the podcast, and I was like, I know it's not big, but I'll totally like plug you. And he's like, oh, let me give you some stuff. He gave me like so much stuff. He gave me a couple books that I've got some really cool adult poems. I think I showed them to you. Adult poems. I have this really small one that I have in my hand, and I can post a picture later. They're small ones, and it's called a doggy poem book. And they're just like poetry about dogs and cats, and they're made like, it's just so cute.
Wait,
they're so cute.
Bring it over here. I'm
gonna toss it because I don't want to move. Sports.
Kevin Devaney.
He's super cool and sweet. He like travels to every state sort of. He hasn't come to Chicago yet because it's too cold, and I get it totally. But you should come here in the summer.
I do get it. Wait. How does this?
He writes in every city and state, and he names the poetry books about them. It's really cool. It's super rad, and it's all on a typewriter. So I met him, and he was really cool, and I just like love art and like go do artwork, support artists. Like, it's super cool. Follow him. He does awesome stuff.
This is so cute.
Yeah.
Oh, the dog one is so cute. A collection of tiny poem books about cats and dogs. Oh God, my poor heart.
He's got a handlebar mustache and a beard.
Oh, I love.
And he dresses in like he had like a vest and a nice white like button up. Oh,
is that what those are called?
Button up.
Okay. This is an off topic.
Yeah.
Do you call them button ups or button downs?
You know what? I think about that on a daily basis, and I think that because I think that like signifies that I'm a lesbian. But like, are they button ups or are they button downs?
I think I would call a short sleeve shirt that has patterns on it a button up. Would I?
I would say anything that buttons a button up because I button it up. I don't.
Oh, I don't button down. I button up. I'm button up. That is such a. Maybe I think.
I don't know.
Wow. I'm okay. So this was what haunted me. These are the questions that haunt me. Questions that haunt Ammo. The other day, I couldn't figure out if I say applicable or applicable.
Oh my God.
Is it applicable to your life? Is that applicable?
I don't say that word enough to know.
I don't know. Today I said the word plethora and multitude within
plethora.
like a sequential order in a
Yeah.
conversation, and my dad was like, "Who are you?" And I was like, "I actually don't know. I don't know who said." I say plethora a lot, but
I do
then all of
too.
a sudden I was like, plethora, multitude. I got all these big words in my brain. Like, why did I do that? I don't know. I just went down a spiral of vocabulary.
Oh my God.
Multitude.
My vocabulary is really bad, I feel like.
I've been realizing lately I have a piece of ice in my mouth.
Yeah.
And you are going to hate it when you have to record it. I have been noticing that English is getting very hard for me. In the sense of like, the older I get, the more I forget. The older I get, the more I forget, like, grammatical structure and rules. And I have to,
Same.
like, question myself about everything. Like, is that proper? You know, like, I'm constantly questioning because things suddenly don't sound right to me. Or maybe they sound right, but I'm just like, is that right? Like, I'm not sure because I'm not consistently reminded of grammatical correctness. I don't know. That's a random topic.
I apologize for the noise previously. I'm sure it'll be picked up. Hopefully not. Honestly, maybe it won't be picked up.
It's kind of over there.
We'll see. We'll figure it out. If there's noise, I apologize.
There might be a, like, whoosh.
I had a thing on. Okay, how about we do, on another note, like top 5 moments, like, in, like, what pop culture of, like,
Ooh.
2018?
Like, good or bad, or just moments we want to talk about?
Ooh.
I think we can do both. Like,
Yeah.
I think maybe let's just both pick 5 things that stood out to us from
I'm
2018.
not going to be able to take 5 things, but we're going to
How about
try
we
to
do
get there.
3?
Okay, let's do 3. That's a little bit
Wait,
better.
you meant like you would have more than 5.
No, I won't have 5. I will not remember 5 things that happened.
Okay. So let's try for 3. I know that this didn't necessarily start in 2018, but I think so much with like detention at the border in terms of, so I mean, all things border related in 2018, which is more political rather than pop culture, but
yeah, no, but it's
I mean,
still
it's
prevalent.
becoming political culture is really becoming
it's
pop.
ridiculous.
So I think that has stood out a lot. I think it's shown a great divide, but also I think I shouldn't say a great divide because it's not an equal divide. I think we've learned that more people are humane in America than maybe we thought prior. But there are still that group of people who bark louder than the rest of us, and the negative people. Yeah, that's all I have to say about that. What about, how do you feel, you just brought this up the other day about Halsey and G-Eazy?
Yeah.
Because I thought that, did they get back together again at some point?
I thought they got back together.
They
at
did,
one point.
but then he
So
cheated
they broke
again.
up, and then it was out. See, okay. Listen, I love her so much. I'm so bad with keeping up with the celebrities, and I don't do the things.
Look up the timeline of Halsey and G-Eazy.
You know what? I constantly think about that one text because I sometimes think about myself and what I say, and I'm like, I'm goddamn funny.
I think you're hilarious.
No, I'm really not. But like, when I texted you one day and I was like, here's me as a DJ, and it's just a Halsey playlist.
Yes.
I think about that constantly.
Amanda has, I'm literally Googling right now, Halsey and G-Eazy relationship timeline.
My girl.
I know there has to be somebody on Reddit.
I'm sure.
The most recent one I found is from October 30th from 2018 of a timeline.
Yeah. Okay.
So it's telling me August 2017 was a year. So in August of 2016, they debuted their relationship.
Yeah.
Then in September 2017, all in public. We're still good. December 2017. They're good. They're good going into...
Because I remember they got back together right after the breakup. And then after that, I just kind of didn't hear about them for a bit. And I was like, I think
so. It looks like... Okay, so going into March, we're good.
What are you on?
I'm on... It's Cosmo.
Oh, Cosmo.
So in June is when their first breakup happens. June of this past year. They unexpectedly split, and then in July she posted the thing claiming
yeah.
Ooh, okay. July. Reports at the time suggesting that in July, Halsey cheated on G with Machine Gun Kelly. That was rumored. However, more evidence eventually pointed to G-Eazy being the cheater. Ooh, okay. So on July 4th, this is fun. Halsey tweeted and then deleted a scissors emoji.
Shit.
September 2018, just like that, back together. They became Instagram official again.
Yeah, I remember that.
And then they were good all through September. All good. Ooh, October, all good. On October 8th at the American Music Awards, they were together.
Mm-hmm.
And then October 24th, she tweeted some things. So October. And then I believe that was it. That was the end.
Yeah.
I didn't know if they got back together.
No, I don't think they got back.
You just didn't know that they had called it quits back in October.
Oh, yeah. I just didn't hear about them and was like, oh, maybe like, I don't know. I'm just mad at myself that I haven't known that she's been single this entire time.
Because you wanted to get back with her.
Yeah, I would totally book a plane ticket. So if you
really had to point anything out from 2018.
2019, I'm going to get Halsey. That's my goal.
So retroactively, if you had known that Halsey and Jeezy were officially over in October,
what would I have done? I don't know.
But that would have
just
been
like happier.
That would have been like a moment to remember from 2018.
I would have been like, you know what? She finally deserves better. She right.
Okay, so Halsey, 2018, Halsey. Name another thing.
It's just Halsey in general. I don't even know. I don't even I'm trying to remember now things, and I don't think I can remember a single thing that happened.
Chance the Rapper got engaged.
True, that was really cool.
July. It was super South Side.
Oh yeah.
I've never seen something more South Side of him in swim trunks in a backyard of a bungalow with a low fence, just everything about it was very South Side. He got engaged. He's cute as hell. His kid is cute as hell. I'm ready for them to have another.
Yep.
I'm ready for him just to put out an actual album.
Same.
He's been releasing music, but not really in a cohesive manner, and I just want. He released 4 songs on my birthday, which was really.
Oh my God, he did. He did it for you.
Thank you, Chancellor, for thinking of me on my birthday. It means the world so much.
Oh my God.
I'm trying to think of other. Again, I feel like politically, RBG's health has been in the shitter, which is a very negative.
That is very negative, yeah.
And
I love her.
Michelle Obama is perfect as always.
I love that woman.
I love Michelle Obama. On Christmas, I tweeted at her.
I saw
to Michelle
that.
Obama.
I got it.
My favorite aunt, Michelle Obama, and only Michelle Obama.
I love her.
I just think that her and Barack. My favorite tweet of all time is a video of them dancing at the Jay-Z and Beyonce concert, in a booth, and somebody tweeted they ain't never coming back for us. And it's no, they're not. They're done with us. We let them down. They served their time. We let them down and put an imbecile in office, and they're definitely not coming back for us.
Dude.
They're going to go live their life now because they did the best they could, and we didn't deserve them.
I tried to get tickets to her book tour thing for my mom.
So expensive,
and
they were over $100 right away.
I was like, meh, I'm sorry, Michelle, but I cannot afford you.
Yeah, it was expensive.
But the fact that she sold out the United Center, dude,
she's unbelievable. I think a lot of it comes from her being from here, but still, I think anywhere she could have.
Oh, for sure.
And probably did sell out the place.
I think most of her things she did.
She's such an... she's just the perfect...
I just want to give her a hug.
I want to give her a hug, but she's one of those people that I want her to fucking put me in my place. Does that make sense?
No, yeah, for sure.
Because I respect her. I want to sit down and be this is how I've been a dumbass. Tell me I'm a dumbass so I get my shit in order. She would immediately be you're fucking up. This is what you're doing wrong. Be better. Yeah. And then I'd be oh fuck. Yeah. Sure. Auntie Michelle, you're right. I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to disappoint you. And then I would be better because it's I just want you to kick my ass.
Okay, so if Michelle Obama walked into the room, I think honestly my reaction would be also the reaction of Leslie Knope when she meets Michelle Obama.
The
legit.
Most accurate representation.
Most accurate.
I think that I would just... I feel I
might cry. I would cry. I would totally cry.
I don't know if I would cry, but I'd be very emotional, and I don't think I would know how to, because of like my utmost love and respect for her, I'd probably be super standoffish because I wouldn't want to like be in her face and annoy her, or like I love her so much that I would probably struggle finding a way to even approach her, because I would want it to be just right, and I'd almost rather just like be in the same place as her and not say anything than to like be the most and say too much. Did you watch Relatable?
Listen, the only thing that I ever watch is Forensic Files.
Okay. So you and I are so different. So Relatable, if you've watched.
But I know I need to watch it. It's on my list.
You should watch it. Here's
I
the
might
thing.
watch it
I don't know
tonight.
if you've ever... I think stand-up has changed a lot over time.
Oh,
like,
definitely.
When Ellen got her... I've watched all of Ellen's like original stand-up.
Yeah, I think I have too, honestly. It's been a while. But
I mean, just if you haven't, go on YouTube.
God,
you can find
so
it in
funny.
bits. You can find it, but she's hysterical. And I think just like the nature of things have changed. Like media and what gets talked about, it's just vastly different now in terms of stand-up. I don't know if we've ever talked about this. I love stand-up. I watch stand-up often. I probably watch stand-up more than I watch any other type of TV or show or anything.
it definitely takes a talent that I don't have.
Yeah. And so I think also Ellen has created a personality for herself. Like she's a comedian, not by nature. If you know much about her, she kind of stumbled into comedy.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But I mean, she's obviously always been a hilarious person, but she was a stand-up comic and landed into this like daytime talk show thing. And if you know anything about just TV shows in general, daytime talk show has to be pretty like rated PG.
Exactly.
Like it has to be pretty low level stuff. And Relatable kind of shows you this like normal person, not daytime talk show Ellen, which is really funny. I don't think it's her best stand-up ever. Like I think she's had funnier, but I also think that she has created a mold for herself as this like daytime talk show host. But she's hysterical and great, reaches so many people. She's phenomenal. It's like 15 or 16 seasons worth of show, which is amazing for a talk show, you know. But Relatable was just it was funny. It's not her best work by any means. It's nothing to like knock your socks off. But it's Ellen being funny and just kind of like humanizing herself, even though I think she's really human for most people to relate to. Relatable.
Yeah.
Ellen, that was good. You set me up for that. But it really humanizes her in the way of like, yeah, she's this like kind daytime talk show host who like has this platform, but she's also just like a normal human who is a normal person.
I think someone who actually shaped me to like looking up to someone like in the media would be Ellen.
Sure. Yeah, that makes perfect sense.
No, like I remember, this is crazy. Like I remember we would go on Disney trips every other year. She used to have a ride at Epcot where she would talk about science.
I think I knew that. Yeah.
That used to be my favorite ride. That introduced me to Ellen. As soon as I got introduced to Ellen, I found out about, and I was small. Like this was like VHS. So I was born in 95. So like this was like,
you little baby.
I know I'm such a baby, but I feel like a grandma. I am a grandma.
You are.
I really am. So then I started watching, like literally I would come home from school and her show would be on at 3:00 and I would tape it.
Right.
And then when this was really funny because like it was,
oh my God,
when her mom came on, my mom wouldn't allow me to watch it because they were talking about adult things. So I wasn't allowed. She'd have to fast forward that part.
That's so
But I would watch it. And then Finding Nemo came out and I knew that it was Ellen. And then like I just continued like to watch. Ellen was this like her show was like this weird escape after school. I came home, watched Ellen, and then did my homework. Like I always took that break and watched Ellen.
I think that Ellen, she actually talks about this in her in Relatable in the new special, but she talks about how more people, she brings up a point in her stand-up where she was like, when I came out, I thought that just like the floodgates were going to open and that every like, you know, closeted celebrity was going to be like, cool, we're on this like road together. And that wasn't the way that it worked out. You know, like she lost her show, she lost her career for a while. But she makes a point where it's just like, we need to have more people talking, like more celebrities that are you know, like she was like, there's basketball players, football players, there's this kind of person, that kind of person. There's all these people that are all different types of things that are gay and are successful. And if they could talk about it, that would help kids so much, you know, like, like to just know that it's cool. And I think that I think I can speak for like people in my life, like in my family. I think that she opened their eyes and their hearts to like acceptance, you know, like they thought she was hysterical because she is, and she stood for kindness and she stood for these good things, and she also was gay. So it's like they began to understand that they could love somebody in all for all of those things, and like that it was okay that the being gay thing was in there. Like, how can I be upset with this really wonderful person in every single way because of this one small part about her? You know, like it's just a small thing.
Yeah.
So I think she's like a great role model for kids. Like, it makes perfect sense that she kind of like grew up as a part of you.
Yeah.
And I think we need to have more people like her doing that, you know. And
I like her comedy too, because most of her comedy is not making fun of people.
No, she finds a way to be funny just for
like
funny's
funny.
sake.
Yeah, which is cool.
Yeah,
because sometimes
comics
I think sometimes go a little hard on the whole like.
Sure.
And I get that that's also a persona. I was actually talking to your cousin about this the other day. With comics, we were thinking that like we understand that there's a fine line between like a persona and going way too far.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Like for me, no jokes about rape are not funny at all. Nothing. That is not funny to me.
This is a good segue because I agree. And I think, what did I watch the other day? So let me preface this. Other big role models for me, Tina Fey and Amy Poehler.
Oh yeah, for sure. Love them.
Right. Like I think we both have like a mutual like love and respect for them. However, I recently watched Baby Mama, which is a hysterical, you know,
yes.
Like, and don't get me wrong, it's still funny.
It's so good.
But there is a lot of questionable humor that at that time was totally chill. Like that movie was funny. It was not politically incorrect. Nobody, you know, watching it in 2019, because it was definitely within like the past week, so many things that wouldn't
I should go back and watch.
Like using the word faggot a lot.
You know what? I remember, okay, so I think I watched it a couple years back, and I remember they said that, and I was like, yes. I kind of like was taken back. I was like, oh.
Yeah. And like, I think that it says a lot about how much we've transformed in media and how people are finally speaking up about what is and isn't okay. And so, but at the same time, that this is going to segue in as well, which is part of what I know we've talked about bringing up today, which is the surviving R. Kelly.
Oh yeah. This is something we definitely want to talk about. Yeah.
But like, it's so wild how different, how even in the past 5 years, how vastly things have changed in terms of just, like what we accept in like the common vernacular, in terms of like degrading words and degrading vocabulary and things like that, and comedy and what we deem as funny, and you know, making rape jokes is not funny. I was actually one of my favorite shows in the world, do not judge me, is the OC. And I think for the most part it's a pretty like liberal progressive show for the time it came out in, but there was like a weird rape joke, and I remember thinking like, oh no, that's not good. Like it probably, nobody thought twice about it back then, because the show came out in like 06 and 07, you know, so over 10 years ago. But it wasn't, watching it now is like, oh, that's not chill. That's not a chill thing to joke about. For sure. And like in Baby Mama, with two women who are fierce fighters for like equal rights and are, I think, feminists in their way in their industries. They were part of these movies and really kind of helped create and produce these movies that, I mean, it was pretty questionable. There was a lot of questionable things in there that I don't think that current day Tina and Amy would ever say or endorse or say it's okay. So there's been a great change in just like the landscape that we see in the media and what we allow for. But I've had a lot of people use that exact same argument about the R. Kelly thing.
Yeah.
So
let me preface this as I'm not someone who ever actually listened to R. Kelly or paid attention until like I've heard about the claims in the past, but I've only recently heard of everything with the show that came out, obviously.
Right. And that's kind of the point.
Yeah.
Piggybacking off of what I was just saying was that I think everybody could be like, yeah, I like kind of heard about there might be something with R. Kelly and what he was doing.
I didn't understand what it was, or it wasn't explained. And
the media didn't cover it. Or,
yeah.
You know, so again, same kind of concept of how we kind of covered things and put it out there and what we put out there and what we didn't put out there. And there were things we talked about and didn't talk about, what was taboo, what wasn't. I think everybody could say like, yeah, we kind of knew something sketchy was going on with R. Kelly, but what exactly was it? What was the full detail? Like we all knew there was a quote unquote like P tape, but what like, what was that? Like, it can't be that bad. He's not in jail. Like, you know, like all these things that we didn't quite understand, and it wasn't really, we weren't told, like we weren't informed about that type of stuff. And now we have this whole docuseries. I mean, many like hour-long episodes, many episodes that are detailing this, you know, and it's like, this has been going on, you know, like how did this not get put into the media? How did this not get covered? How did we not know? And why isn't anything being done about it? You know, like, and I think there's a lot of conversations that I think many routes to talk about why not, but how is this man a free walking man talking about the justice system? People are serving hard time for selling marijuana, which is a legal drug in a lot of states. And R. Kelly, who basically like trafficked young girls, not even women, not even young women, young girls into like his own little sex cult, is a free walking man. Where, like, what? Where is like... Where is it at? I don't know.
I don't know. It's just insane. Like I was watching one of the episodes before, like this whole thing we recorded, and I was just like sitting there and I was like, how did none of this, and it's obvious because people are being paid. It's all just put under the rug. It's because corporations just want money. This, and this. Like I was just like blown away.
Yeah, I think, I don't know, I bringing up Chance the Rapper again, but he like talked about it in an interview, and I think it's also, and Jada Pinkett Smith also, is it her like her live talk? She does like her new live talks with like her and her mother and Willow.
Oh, okay.
And I think they're like Facebook Live videos.
Okay.
It's like a red table. I'm messing that all up, and I'm so sorry. I've watched a lot of clips from them, to be honest. I haven't sat down and watched a full one, but I've seen a lot of clips and pieces from it. And she like, so even since this docu-series came out, R. Kelly's like music sales have gone up.
I know.
Like, somehow he's making more money from this. And Jada Pinkett Smith put out a video that was like, I'm really trying to understand. What am I missing? Like, she's like, I'm genuinely opening it up for conversation. I want to understand how we are giving this man even more money for his music, knowing what he's done. And the only thing I can think of, I hope it isn't because of this, but please tell me this isn't because Black women don't matter. And I think that's a continued conversation that a lot of people have. And Chance the Rapper talks about it. And he kind of calls out his own racism from how he was raised, not by his family, I don't think. But just kind of like the culture.
Yeah.
And he was like, I think we don't take Black women seriously. So that's like, I mean, I don't think neither you nor I can speak on that.
No, definitely not.
We're white women.
We're white women, yeah.
But I think that's a section of the conversation that I think is a big part.
Yeah.
And again, I don't know. I don't think either of us have the standing ground to really talk much about that. But that's like one section of it. The other part to me is just like, so many people are like, R. Kelly was the greatest of all time. You know, I'm not going to stop listening to his music. Like, whatever he did is one part of him, but his music is so great.
See, for me, as a music lover, I don't know, I guess I guess it's sort of like stereotypical and like sort of like I pick and choose, but I feel like for the most part, if I know that person's a piece of shit, I don't listen to their music.
Right. I feel that way.
Yeah.
And we were actually having a conversation at work about this the other day. It was me and one person, kind of not on one side. Like, it was a very healthy, normal discussion where we all acknowledged what R. Kelly does is bad, like horrible, not good. And then there were two of us that were like, it's this knowing all of these things fully now in depth, understanding the fullness of what was going on. We're not going to listen to his music. We're not going to endorse a guy like that. And then there was two other people that were like, no, you're right. Not good. Those actions need to be punished. But he's the greatest musician of all time. I'm not going to stop listening to his music. It's not going to stop me. And I don't know what's wrong or right. Like,
I don't
I'm
either.
not going to support it because I'm not going to support somebody who, in any way, same way I wouldn't support my friends. Like, if I found out a friend of mine was doing some shit like that, I don't really care what you're doing with your life. I'm not behind you.
Uh-huh.
And that's a personal thing. I don't know what's wrong or right here. I don't know. But it's just super interesting to hear. And I would love to know more about just where that mindset comes from. And we did a big comparison with like Michael Jackson.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Because like, I think a lot of like my mom, my aunts, people who like grew up with him in like their teenage years.
Yeah.
And when all those allegations came out, a lot of them were like, that's really messed up. If it's true,
Mm-hmm.
nothing really is for sure. We don't know anything for sure.
Know, yeah.
But we're not going to stop listening to his music. It's Michael Jackson. Like, he's the king of pop. He's,
Yeah.
And
see, that's where I think about that, because I'm like, I listen to Michael Jackson.
Yeah, I still listen to Michael Jackson now. But we talked about kind of the difference between that is that and maybe again, this comes from how the media covered things.
Maybe.
We definitely didn't we heard a lot about Michael Jackson. It was in the news a lot. I was young, but we heard a lot about it.
We heard a lot about it, yeah.
But nothing was ever like for sure. There was no like super
there wasn't ever
cold,
anything.
hard evidence that absolutely said, yep, you fucked up and that's really fucked up. I don't really know what my opinion is on that whole situation and which way I lean towards. I don't know. I can't say that either. But the one person and I that were on the one side, they were like, it just feels different. Like,
it does. I don't know. Yeah.
It feels slightly different because this is like a full docuseries and we know that R. Kelly is doing these things. This isn't like a question about what he's doing. And sure, maybe he is one of the greatest of all time, but we also know cold, hard facts that he's been doing this. Whereas like Michael Jackson, and I don't know, again, I don't know if maybe I'm even rationalizing because maybe I genuinely love Michael Jackson and I know R. Kelly's music well enough, but I'm not a huge fan, like.
Yeah, exactly.
So maybe I'm
that's
part,
it.
maybe that's part of it. Maybe
Yeah.
I'm just like those other people that are like, yeah, you're right, that's messed up, but I love his music and I'm not going to stop. And maybe I'm doing the exact same thing for Michael Jackson where I'm like, yeah, like maybe though all those things are true. I don't know. I think there's a little bit difference in the evidence in both situations, but I'm not going to stop listening to his music because he's Michael Jackson, so maybe I'm being the exact same. I don't know.
Yeah.
I could be I could be acting just as ignorant towards it. And I don't even want to use the word ignorant, but I could be doing the same, but I don't know. To me, it seems different.
To me, it also seems different, I think. To me, I think I was watching the news. I think it was this morning. There was both protests in front of his place that are both for him and against him.
I don't know how somebody can stand up and be behind this guy.
I can't either. No.
Despite good music, like, I don't even care about that. Like, sure, it's good music. Appreciate his music on the side, but where does it come from where you can stand and
exactly
know all these things have happened for certain and just be like, nope, I'm here for him. I'm going to support him. Like, continued horrible acts on young children.
Yeah.
But let's keep going. I'm still behind him. It's like, no, like, it's not even like there was a mistake made or maybe he had like a error in judgment this one time. Like, this is pretty repeated behavior.
It is,
over time. And they talk in the docuseries about how he was molested as a child, which is horrible. It's devastating, right? Like, but grow from your trauma and grow through your trauma and Help yourself out. Don't take your trauma and add to it and then traumatize others. And I think that's what's happened here. So I do blame him. I was going to say I don't blame him. Like, I don't blame him for what happened to him as a child.
Yeah.
That's unfortunate, and that's
But he's still
sad.
a piece of shit.
But you literally just, two wrongs do not make a right.
Yeah. And I'm glad that I'm seeing like all these celebrities that are finally like Lady Gaga was like, pull that song.
Yeah, pull that
Not
song.
Completely gone. Completely just not a thing anymore.
Lady Gaga is such a stand-up woman.
Can we all right. Let me just take a moment to talk about how much I love her. My God, that woman has talent. Have you seen her play the piano?
Yes.
She is phenomenal.
I have taken a lot of time in my personal free time
to watch Lady Gaga play
like
the piano.
even old videos of
Same.
her from like college.
Yeah. She does this one version of Poker Face where she plays the piano, and it is. She is. You know what? Like, looking at her career, I think she is at a place where she's like she's like, holy shit. Because like, look at what she's accomplished. She used to dance on stage to metal songs.
Yeah.
And now she's like, and then she did this weird pop thing, the Meat Suit. And now, and then she did this record with Tony Bennett that's just like the most beautiful. Like, she's a great voice for jazz. And now when she did the Sound of Music cover thing, oh my God, I cried.
I think that she is like, she's not untapped talent. She's phenomenal. I think that a lot of people maybe didn't take her seriously based on her like introduction into fame. It was like, and those are great songs. Don't get me wrong. Poker Face, hell yeah. Just Dance, great songs. Like great poppy songs that people love to play. You know, like they're fun and they're excited and whatever. But that's not Lady Gaga.
No.
Yeah, you know, and I think it's hard to take somebody like that seriously because you just think they're just like a whatever kind of pop star. And she's so much like more than that and so much more talented, and she's not just like she can perform her own music. She's not just people
she's a performer
mixing. Yeah, you know, like she's so good. And I by no means I've always liked Lady Gaga's music, but I don't think I was ever like a super fan of hers. And I'm gonna be really honest, I saw A Star Is Born and like completely converted to just loving her.
Good.
Like I always appreciated her. Like I liked her music, and I grew to understand how quite talented she was.
She's
in general.
She's a talented woman.
But A Star Is Born, if you have not seen,
I have not seen. I need to.
Oh dear Lord!
I don't like going to movie theaters. I have a thing about it.
Okay, I see. I love going to the movies. I love going to the movies.
It's a thing.
Okay. And we're gonna wrap it up with introductions of ourselves.
Yeah. So this was. I'm just gonna put the introduction at the end so everybody can like figure it out at the end.
Can you imagine? We're like, we've put you through these 3 hours to let you know that
I'm Amanda and that's Ammo.
And I'm
that's
Ammo.
Her new legal name.
My new legal name.
New legal name. And this is Millennial Talk. And if you guys really enjoyed, just do the thing, share the links, do the social media.
The links.
Social media. Yeah, okay. What was our tagline? Are we doing a new tagline this year?
No.
We're gonna figure this out, right?
We're gonna figure it out.
Figure it out. Okay.
We'll figure it out.
Cool. Bye.
Bye.